Hello, my CMA final students. I'm Shivangi Agrawal, your law mentor, and this video is for you. This is the most intense discussion amongst the students right now because amendments have this tendency of creating so much pressure amongst the students at the last moment. Exams are almost 20-25 days away, and I want to tell you that this is the time when champions are made. No champion is born, right? They are made by the hard work, by sheer hard work, sheer smart work, that consistency, that dedication. So the pressure is undoubtedly real, but you have to trust yourself, you have to trust the process, and you have to be positive throughout, right? And See, of course, we are going to discuss the amendments, and I'm not going to take much of your time, and you don't have to worry about the amendments. I will make this very simple for you. But what I was more important right now is your momentum, is your consistency. So please don't give up, right? It's not the time to think and doubt at your own capabilities. It's the time to trust yourself. And there is one thing which I am constantly seeing in all the queries that I am receiving is that overthinking, is that fear of failure. Don't let that overpower you. You've studied for months, and now is the time to reap that reward, right? But you will get it when at this particular point of time you give your best, right? So remember, when you are studying late at night, you have to keep a thought that this late night is going to pay off soon, this sacrifice is going to pay off soon, this effort is going to pay off soon, right? So have that positivity and think about the consequences. If I don't sacrifice, oh, this is going to happen, right? You don't have to go on that negative path, but always remind yourself that every effort, every late night, every sacrifice, whatever I'm putting in is going to pay off, right? Is going to pay off. So please be consistent. Now let's talk about the most important thing right now is that the amendments. And one thing which I sincerely urge everyone to revise thoroughly is the amendment of MSME. Let me take you through the file because there is a lot of clarity I want to give you more than the amendments that I want to tell you. Okay, so first of all, we read the amendments only till May 25, which are relevant for your December 25 attempt. Having said that, you have to understand that there are many changes in Companies Act also. Like there is change in board's report, there is some change in the fraud part of duties of auditor, etc. Right? But then that is not relevant for your exam in December 25, right? Because those rules are effective from that part is effective from 14th July. So you're not required to study it. Okay. So if that confusion floats in, please let it go. It's not important. It's not relevant for you right now. Okay. Then there are many forms which have been made compulsory, like e-forms. Okay. Some forms have been replaced. You will see a lot of amendment in the rules which is only pertaining and relevant to the forms, right? Anyway, you're not reading the forms in your syllabus. You're only reading the form numbers at places, right? So again, it's not something which is much of relevance and you have to give your time and effort at right now. No. Okay. Again, there is something which relates to CSR2 report. CSR reporting has to be done now. It is as an addendum, right? So CSR2, if I talk about this financial year, it's just that the due date has been extended for filing it separately. Again, this is not relevant and not important. So I have written this, but I'm again striking it off. You don't have to give your time effort to these amendments at all. Okay, moving on to the economic laws. And again, there is also a confusion, ma'am. There are many changes in IBC. Again, that is not something which is relevant to you for your December exams, right? So that bill is not yet passed also. Okay, so forget about that. Okay, now economic laws, when I talk about, first of all, this MSME limit is applicable and effective with effect from 1st April. 1st April. So undoubtedly this is the limit which you have to read, and this is going to be relevant for December 25 exams. No matter what the question comes, even if it is even if it is MCQ, you have to mark this revised limit only if that is in the option, right? If it is a full-fledged question, then also you have to write this revised limit only. Got it? Got it? Okay. It should not happen, but in a rare case, if it happens that there is some MCQ and the old limits are only given, the new and the revised limits are not given, well then you go ahead and write it. But if at all such question comes in exam where institute has made such a blunder, they usually grant full marks to all the options. Okay, so but still, just to be on that safe side, because ultimately we are here on the receiving end, so whatever institute is giving, we have to take. Okay, now coming to again a debatable amendment, which is of Competition Act, right? See, there are many changes in Competition Act. If I go on, I can take a class of, I think, around 3 hours just on Competition Act amendments. But is it actually worth it? Why? Because if I tell you the amendments, is the institute expecting you to write that amended part or not? That is the big question. So institute has not included anything in their supplementary that whether you're supposed to read that or not, right? So I advise you to read 3 to 4 very important amendments in Competition Act. Okay, although the process of inquiry into the combination, there is a lot of things which has some things have been changed in entirety also, right? And there are minor changes at a lot of places. Okay, but then I advise you to know few things. What are those few things? The very first one is DVT. What is DVT? Deal value threshold. Now, earlier, what used to happen, if there is any merger, we had to take CCI approval only if the companies are crossing certain asset or turnover limits, right? Which we read as combination. Again, there is a confusion of combination limit. Ma'am, what is that limit, right? What is that limit? So, this is the limit. This I had included in that June 25 amendment also. So this is the combination limit which you have to keep in mind, right? Now earlier, if this is crossed, then only CCI approval was needed. Now there are many companies or apps which have very low turnover or assets, but they have very high valuation. So they were not in the purview of CCI or CCI scrutiny. A very common example, which I guess everyone knows, is Zomato inquiring Blinkit. Blinkit now it's Blinkit. Earlier it was Grofers, right? So such large value acquisitions, they were out of CCI purview. Why? Because the assets or the revenue was low, so CCI could not examine them. Now what is there is that there's a point added in the meaning of combination: value of any transaction if it exceeds 2000 crore. So now it is value of the deal, value of the transaction. It's not about the asset, it's not about the turnover, right? So the value of the transaction, if it is exceeds 2000, then you have to take CCI approval. That is something that I want you to remember. Again, there is an elaborate thing to understand it from all perspectives, but this is what I want you to remember in case there is any question, there is a case study, there is any question which comes where we have such mention, then you should know it. Okay, so that is one thing. Now, the second one, that earlier there was an casting vote available to chairman, now it's not available. Okay, there are these amendments, that is it. These amendments which I've already covered in June 25 video. Okay, so this is like old new. Earlier 210 days for deemed approval, now 150 days, right? So this within 30 days. Now before consummation of combination, I have explained this also in June 25 video. In case you have not referred, please refer to June 25 video, wherein you will get more amendments. Okay, now, so Competition Act, I hope it is clear. Combination limit, this you have to remember, and these are few amendments which I want you to just keep in mind, and you have to take a professional judgment when you are writing the answers at that particular point of time. Okay. So, other things all remaining the same. If there is a full-fledged question that you're writing about, maybe about combination, and you are supposed to write about the combination limit, then write this. And I would want you to write this also in view of the latest amendment or latest changes made in the Competition Act. This is also included. So that is one, right? If at all the question comes about any MCQ is there, and this limit is also given, and this limit is also given, mark this. If it is not given, right, if it is not given, or if it is, then you have to mark this only. And so right now you have to keep in mind both these things. Have, why? Because institute has not made this clear. In fact, they have not even included it in their supplementary, right? And if it is a full-fledged question, I mean a descriptive question, then you write this and also write that this has been amended to 150. Okay, so there's a very few changes that I have told you to keep in mind, okay, which are very simple and you can keep in mind. Now coming to this SEBI ICDR again, ma'am, in June 25 video, amendment video, you said that of course institute has not even taken these into, they have not even incorporated these changes. So should we study or not? Now there are attempts which have passed. So my sincere request would be that this is what you should be writing. The new, the changed thing. Right now, anyone who is not able to understand this, there is an IT Act, there was Section 172A punishment, this has been changed, right? So if you're not able to understand any of it, please refer to June 25 amendment video. These are the amendments which have already been covered there, and these are the new things which I have told you in this particular video. All in all, what to remember, what is important, this is very important. This is very important. Okay, and what is less important, this is not important at all. Okay, what is less important, keep in mind this, and of course this, the entire thing that I have told you in June 25 video. Okay, so I hope this gives you the clarity about the amendment. If there is anything else, you can always ask. Okay, thank you everyone. Wish you all the very best, and please, please, please study hard, and just forget everything, right? You are unstoppable. I believe in you. Just keep studying, keep believing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.